Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this tournament recap from last year. My name is Mikey, and I'm your host today. I'm gonna be reviewing the second and third round of the classical San internal championship of last year. I want to remember y'all that the this year's championship will begin, I believe, quite soonly, and will also have um, recaps of each round made by me. As you seen in the previous video, last round was very hard. It was a tough loss to digest. But now we move to game two. Now, game two was very complicated. I knew that my opponent was a little bit worse than me, and saying a little bit worse is being generous. So I opened with h4, the Kadas opening. And you may be like, what are you doing? H4? Well, yeah, but I only played this because I knew that my opponent was not gonna attend this round. That is right. My opponent did not show up to the second round, which led me to win. This is why I played h4, making a huge statement from my part that I have no respect to my opponents, or at least the high majority of them. So I completely disrespected this guy, Joao Conceição, and he did not show up. So this is why I am also recording two rounds in one episode. I'm not done. I don't have the time to put two rounds in one episode. So because then it's gonna be like a 4 hour video like the Merida one, and I don't want that. So let me just open the third round game, and we'll be right back to the third round. I don't know why I'm speaking, and I'm also don't know why I was last time looking in this direction, or maybe this, something like that. But now I'm looking to you. I opened this game with d4, the queen's pawn opening, a little bit different than what I have been doing the past two rounds, but I played with black and played h4, so d4 is okay. My opponent responded with d5. Keep in mind that this is Jorge Silva, one of the most fierce opponents that I had faced in this tournament. He is probably like, what, 17, 1800 rated in League Chess, and I will say he's a great guy and all, but he is one of the most annoying opponents that I have faced, because it seems like that when there is an annoying move that your opponent can make, he just makes it all the time. But in this game, I was actually a little bit confident. I played knight f3. He responded with knight f6, and right around here, I knew that he did not really knew what he was going for. He was kind of copying me. I played e3, going for the Coley system, which is a node opening for its simplicity and versatility against pretty much everything. Um, he responded with the same, again, not really knowing what to do. And in here, yes, I played a Coley system. This is a straight Coley system. Maybe I will be doing videos about this opening. There's not a much covering this opening in particular. The opening isn't anything special, but it's a great opening for people that do not want to learn something tough, something difficult, and just want to have a fun and normal game of chess. Bishop e3 is the following move. The Coley system is like the London system, but without the bishop on f4, just to you guys to know. He played c5, immediately striking in the center, and I responded with b3. One of the variations is c3, which is a variation where you want to push e4 further away. You develop your pieces kind of the same way in both variations. This bishop, I don't really know what it does in the c3 variation, but I played b3 variation, which can seem kind of weird. The move b3 stops them going c4, but this move also used to put this bishop in fianchetto, which you guys can say it's a little bit odd, considering that we have a pawn on d4 blocking it. He plays knight c6, normal move. Here I play a3 because I know that in theory you do not want this knight going to this square. So I play a3 just covering. He takes the pawn on d4 and I fiercely take the pawn on d4. Here he plays h6, which I think he was kind of stopping my bishop g5, but I was never gonna play any bishop g5. I just fianchetto, which can seem weird because yeah, the bishop is blocked, but that's all part of the main plan. He plays bishop e7, just not trying to be a lot, not trying to be much confrontational here. Bishop e6, d6 would have made it sense, but he doesn't want to be like much. Play knight d2, just developing my knight. We both castles short. He plays rook e1, which it's kind of odd, to be honest. But I mean, what can I say? I mean, what else can he do here? Playing queen c here, queen c7, queen b6. Maybe try some a5 things. I don't know. I jump in with the knight to e5, a crucial move. After he goes knight d7, we do not trade this knight. We instead overprotect it with f4, which visualizes that if black takes our knight, we take with the f pawn and open this file, which will be very weak. For example, we can try queen here or even queen here because the knight that was guarding this square just left it. He responds with f5, which is a very, very normal move, trying to just stop anything freaky from happening in this side of the board. I respond with c4. c4 is not, I wouldn't say it's theory, but I have reviewed some Kale system positions in Stockfish, in Lichess, and Hannah by hand, and the plan that it likes the most is to go for this break with c4 and trying to put a rook on this file. He goes back with the knight, which is a very, very normal move because he senses that he has made a mistake of moving the knight from here to here. Of course, this square is very weak. Here I respond with f5, just taking space in the queen side. It's not f5, it's c5. Excuse me, I think I've been saying f5 for a while. He jumps the knight to e4, which I wouldn't say is the best of options, but I mean, you gotta do something, right? I bring my rook to the open file, a move that Stockfish considers a mistake here probably. I should have just traded this not that good of a knight for this one. That's probably what I should have done. Let's see what Stockfish thinks. Okay, it likes b4, just consolidating the pawn structure. It also knights taking the knight on e4 and even moving this knight to f3 where it's better. Rook c1 is played, a5 is played, and now he's just a little bit better. Here is actually a blunder because I can still take the knight. And here we go back and forth blundering moves because none of us see that knight takes on e4 is a strong move. None of us see, and the engine also wants him to take my knight around here. We just try to develop. I go queen h5, trying to destroy him, which is not the best option, but it creates some pressure. Rook f1, I also don't know why he did this. He was probably hoping to put his bishop in this diagonal, which is very, very good. Or even, now that look, he's just defending himself from queen f7 check. I go for a rook lift with rook f3. He puts the bishop back, what we discussed it. I put the queen back. He runs the king forward. Of course, now there isn't any rook here ideas with taking this pawn that were never ever had. Here the engine says I'm a lot worse because of knight takes on e5 again. Knight takes on e5. But he goes king e1, which probably is also a slight blunder, but he's still better. I try to go with g4, just trying to demolish his king and starting an attack. He very calmly plays g6, and now here is the crucial moment of the game. The game is set to drawn, as you can see. There are not sacrifices. The engine wanted me to trade the knight here, which doesn't really make sense. But I tried going for everything with pawn g5. Okay, not yet. I went at bishop f3. I think this is because I was seeing. I think it was around here that I started seeing a sacrifice that would lead to checkmate with I think queen here, king takes, king here. I think rook check, something like in the scheme of that. He played rook. No, it wasn't not around here, but that probably looks like it works. It doesn't. Rook g8. We finally take the knight, but now I don't think it's that good of a move because it attacks my rook with tempo. And I trade before recapturing it, and I just move my rook to safety. Moves his bishop to a good square where he can win a pawn. And here was the high moment of the game where I whisked. I tried going for it everything with g5, but I didn't saw that my opponent could close the attack, close the door with h5, and this is just completely worse for me. Now I have to play in a very tough middle game position where I don't have an attack, and his position is good. Bishop e2 is a very like I will say desperate way of trying to sack the bishop to then have queen here check and maybe can checkmate the black king. He runs from all of it. Even in this position, I don't think it would be that bad of sacking the bishop. But of course, I did not. I played rook c3. I cannot remember why that. I don't know. I should probably just try to like sack the bishop, and even before taking, just going for this double rook thing. I didn't. I went rook c3. He responded queen c7, just aiming to that weak pawn, which I sought, defended with bishop c1. He plays rook h7. Now there's not freaky lines with this bishop sack. I attempt to trade it, fail, and we both move our kings. He moves his rook back to d8. Bishop e3 is played. Bishop f7. Here I really didn't know what he was doing. Here I think I even thought I was much better, but like not anymore. Here a very crucial mistake. I tried to keep insisting in the attack. I wanted to double this. It doesn't make sense, but it's not supposed to. He fiancado his bishop, aiming at a very weak pawn. King g2, rook d7 are just some more moves here. The idea that I thought that doesn't do anything and just wastes time. He doubles his rooks, which is way better because after this gets traded, now there are a bunch of like weak pawns here, and it's impossible for me to defend them all. He's gonna capture. I'm gonna lose a piece, not a piece, but a pawn in here. I'm just much worse. Here I even stop any freaky discovery check ideas. But this is just completely nice out here. The engine even says that it's a maiden. Does he found it? No, he doesn't. But it won't take long until he finds it. He plays rook d3, trying to maybe create a pass pawn or even win my rook if I trade it. He runs his king back to f2, just protecting, and I take. But this is just game over. A queen here is like made in one. Not this is not made in one. This is made in one, and he did find it. Queen d2 made. Another loss. So now after three rounds, I was with 1 point in 3 games, which is not particularly good if you ask me. I'm now seeing that it's super dark in the room that I'm in, but I will be filming some more episodes, and yeah, that's it. Get out of here.